can just hear it in my head because we know what Judge Penney sounds like. We know what Elaine sounds like. We know what Ben Chu sounds like. And we know Ben Chu likes to throw little jabs. We know Elaine has her little stutters. And we know that Judge Penney, she can get impatient sometimes. So when I was reading the transcripts, I thought it was really funny because you can tell she was getting a little impatient with Elaine. And Elaine's like, but. And Judge is like, no. So let's go over this really quick because I thought it was funny. Okay, so we'll start with June 24th. So June 24th, like I said, they all met up again. And this is, oh lordy. This is the whole thing. So if you guys remember, a couple weeks before this, Amber Heard and her lawyers, Elaine and them, they put in like a motion to suppress some of the evidence, transcripts, and things like that. And so yeah, this is Elaine right here submitting her request. So here's the transcript hearing of June 24, 2022, okay? I just want to read this because I just thought the back and forth between Elaine and Judge Penney was a little bit funny. And then Ben Chu, I think Ben Chu kind of stays, like, he's not too sassy here. I think he's kind of just chill here. Usually Ben Chu's a little bit sassy and he likes to throw jabs. But, you know, I think he's okay now. I don't think he's throwing any jabs at Elaine today. So the court is going to be Judge Penney, you know who Chu is, and you know who Ms. Brederhoff is, aka Ms. Elaine Breadcrumbs. Okay, I'm just going to say Judge Penney. Judge Penney, okay. Ben Chu. Thank you, Your Honor. Judge Penney. All right, anything further? Elaine. No, Your Honor. Judge Penney. All right, I will sign this order. Elaine interrupts. Your Honor, I'm signing his order. Judge Penney. I think you need to sign it. All right, so I can give it to Ms. Brederhoff to sign. Elaine. Oh, okay, I'll sign that one. Judge. All right. Elaine. Okay. Judge Penney. All right, I'll sign that, and I'll get copies to you. Ben Chu. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Judge Penney. All right, the only other question I had was the clerks have asked me about it because of some of the hearings that were under seal. Are they still staying under seal? Because now, if it's going to be appealed to the Court of Appeals, there's a question with that. So that's why, ... And then Elaine says, I'd have to look at, I know we have to file a number of transcripts, and we filed certain ones under seal that were under seal because we didn't want to violate any of the court orders, obviously in that. I don't have the list in front of me. It was a pretty extensive list, and there were certain, Judge Penney cuts her off, right? Elaine, ones. I would have to look at that before making any kind of determination on that. Ben Chu. If we can also double check, please, Your Honor. Judge Penney. Okay, that's fine. If you could just get back to Sammy to find out, because I'd rather unseal as much as I possibly could at this point. Most of the items in, at least the hearings were sealed because we didn't want to have any taint to the jury. But since that's cleared, and for the motion in limine issues and things, I'm just thinking that Ben Chu interrupts, and I apologize, Your Honor. And our assumption is once the trial was on things, would not be, And our assumption is, why does this sentence look so weird to me? And our assumption is once the trial was on, things would not be sealed anymore. Judge Penney, correct. And that was my assumption too. So but when you started filling things under seal, I was a little confused. And then Elaine's like, yeah, and I'm not sure that was my assumption, that everything suddenly became unsealed. I think it depended upon the circumstances. So I'll go and look back, Your Honor. Judge Penney, well, my intention is to unseal everything. Elaine Brederhoff cuts her. So Judge Penney cuts her off. Okay, so that's where I'm at. So if you provide me with something different than that, I'll take a look at it. But especially when it goes to the Court of Appeals on appeal, there shouldn't be anything sealed. We've had the trial. That's Judge Penney right there. Elaine says, we absolutely will do so, Your Honor. There's also one more ministerial thing. Judge Penney's like, sure. Elaine, in this judgment order, which went back and forth a few times, and a lot of it reflects my edits from earlier judgments, I had included in here that we incorporate the jury verdict form, and Mr. Chu agreed with me. And it's in this judgment form, and it's in this judgment order. It's still on the record. The verdict, judge cuts her off. No, because it's sealed by the foreperson whose name is under seal. Elaine, can we block that signature out? And then can we still file that? Because in this judgment order, we've incorporated. And that's what Judge Penney cuts her off. All right. Elaine says, we typically do with judgment orders. Judge Penney, any objection to that? Ben Chu, no, Your Honor. Judge Penney, all right, we can do that. Elaine, wonderful. Judge Penney, all right, we'll do that. Elaine, thank you. Judge Penney, attach that to it. Okay. Now, Elaine, and we'll look at that, and we'll answer that no later than next Friday when we file the post-trial motions, Your Honor. Judge Penney, all right. Cuts off Elaine. Elaine, on the seal. Judge Penney, that's fine. And when you appeal, there will be a suspension bond too. You understand that? All right, this part is really important. Elaine's like, we plan on addressing that with the post-trials motion, Your Honor. Judge Penney, well, I can address it right now if you... Elaine, I prefer to be able to. Judge Penney cuts her off. I understand what you prefer. Oh my God, Judge Penney is like, she is so over Elaine at this point. She says, I understand what you prefer, but I'm going to tell you the suspension bond would be the amount of judgment plus 6% for a year, because that is what it should be. Elaine at this point, she's probably like defeated. Okay. Judge Penney, okay. So that's one less thing that you have to address. Elaine, well, will Your Honor permit me to at least address that in the post-trial motions? Judge Penney, if you wish, but that's my order right now. Elaine, I understand. Completely understand. Judge Penney, okay. Elaine, thank you, Your Honor. And I think that was just about it. Oh, okay. There's a little bit here. Judge Penney, all right. Anything further on this? Mr. Chu, no, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Judge Penney, anything further? Elaine, no. Judge Penney, all right. We'll get a copy of this order for you. Elaine, I hope Your Honor had a great vacation, by the way. Judge Penney, okay, the court is still in recess. So I guess like you're not really supposed to say like personal, like outside stuff while they're like still like doing the transcript stuff. And Judge Penney's not even like, oh, thank you, Elaine. Thank you so much. She's like, shut the fuck up, Elaine. Oh, man. Remember in Elaine's closing statements where she was like, Amber Heard had to pay the $6 million. That's why she couldn't donate the money to charity or something like that. And then we find out that the money was even like out of pocket for her. She had the insurance company paid. I know one insurance company already paid like $5 million. I'm not sure if the other one already paid the $1 million. Judge Penney is done. Yeah, it's just so interesting to see these transcripts because you can totally see this transpire in your head. Like I can see like Judge Penney's face, I can see Elaine's pleading face, I can see Ben Chu sitting there just kind of like smirking a little bit. So I thought this was interesting. So this is before Elaine, team member Heard lawyers, before they submitted that post-trial motion. Which, by the way, or I guess we'll get to it in a little bit. Ben Chu does not Ben Chu. I think it was another person that dealt with the post-trial motion. They have the same amount of like sting, you know, as Ben Chu. So we'll take a look at that afterwards. Okay, so this happened on June 24.